Welcome to Kiddo's World. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the channel where you get educated, entertained, and inspired. And I want to welcome you to Marriage Series Episode 2. If you are joining us for the first time, we are talking about matters of dating, matters of relationship, love, and marriage. Welcome to Marriage Series. For the newcomers, I welcome you to this platform, a platform where we dissect these issues. The purpose is to promote health, love, relationships. And for the newbies, please go and watch Marriage Series Episode 1 so you catch up, you understand the purpose of this platform. Most women aspire to be married. It is a dream of most or majority of the women to wear that gown, white. And for this reason, we find ourselves getting into unhealthy relationships. We find ourselves in dysfunctional marriages. So number one of all, the one which is topping the list is desperation. Desperation, and I need to get married. I must get married. I need to get married. That state of urgency. So we are in that state of urgency. Most of the women were in that state of urgency, that intense need to get married. Now, what I've seen is this desperation has got many sources. Most women, we get into that state of urgency from different sources. There are many sources that put us into that state of urgency. And number one, society. Society has conditioned us to believe that as women, we must get married at a certain age. If you cross that age without being married, it's like you are incomplete, you are not normal. And for that reason, as women, most of the women, we put that we are rushing. That number, that 30 is a problem. That 30 is as a woman who must be married by 30 and it comes a lot of reasons. Yes, because after 30 you'll not be able to have healthy kids and whatever, whether it's true or not, but that is the problem. We are conditioned to believe that before 30 or by 30 you must be married. And for that puts us into a state of intense need or desperation to get married. Another source of desperation comes from families, friends, family members, because of again what we're conditioned to believe. So even family members, when they look at you almost approaching 30, you're 25, 26, going there, they start asking, when are you getting married? And especially some parents, I call these parents toxic. I'm sorry, but such kind of parents, I call them toxic. Because instead of sitting down with your daughter or daughters and discuss with them about relationships, what they think, or teaching them right things about relationship, to say, when you see a man, if a man approaches you and then a real man is supposed to be, such discussion, before you put them under pressure with such questions as to when are you getting married? Who is supposed to teach your daughters how to make a proper selection? So because of that, we are even afraid to go home. When you visit some of the parents, they are on the case. There are people who just can't even go home because that will be the first question. When are you getting married? And these parents start comparing you to neighbors and to other people. Others are getting married. When are you getting married? Now, because of that annoying question, you get into a state of desperation. Friends. The pressure from friends. And this pressure, sometimes it's not direct. It's indirect. You are in a group of 5. Yeah, you have a group of 5 ladies, and you have friends maybe from high school or from varsity. The first one gets married, and the second one, the third one. Oh my gosh. That puts the other 2 or the remaining 2 or 1 or 3 in a state of desperation. A lot of women, when they are attending weddings, there is imagination. I wish it's me. Oh my God. We envy the brides. Even the bridesmaids. You make them your bridesmaids. I tell you, they might be smiling because women, most of us are selfish. So we might be smiling. Yeah, I'm happy for you. But deep down, we are dying. There's desperation. I wish, when is my turn? I wish it's, oh my gosh. So because the friends are getting married and we feel I'm left behind. The question is, who said all of us are supposed to be married? If you analyze the history of humankind, if you see old people in your villages, are they all married? Or were they all married? Again, society has made us to believe a certain order of events. You know, like for people who have gone to varsity, who have, gone to universities, the order, it's like, you finish school, you go to university, you finish the school for, general education, you go to varsity, you get a job. The next thing is to be married. Society has made us to believe that once you get your degree or diploma or whatever and you start working, the next thing that you do is you should be married. So because of that, we get into a state of desperation. Reasons why women get into unhealthy relationships, why women marry wrong. We are talking about desperation as the first one, and it comes from a lot of sources. The next source of desperation is loneliness. This is a woman who is lonely. There isn't just a Thomas, a Simon. No Simon in the picture. The men are just not approaching her, and she feels she's alone. So this can put us into a state of desperation where now you think, oh my gosh, because there has been no picture of a man, maybe for a certain period of time. Boom, one Sunday, one Saturday, one day, Peter comes closer. Without proper analysis, we jump onto this relationship with Peter. We don't even ask necessary questions. And if Peter wants to get married and he comes already telling us that I want to marry you, we don't even assess anything. We don't do any assessment. The only thing that we believe or that we see is that word marriage. Peter is saying, I want to marry you, and that's it. Past heartbreaks. Yes, with Peter, it ended in tears. Simon, it ended in tears. Brian, it ended in tears. Because of that, we get into a state of desperation. We get desperate. What's wrong with me? 3 heartbreaks, 4 heartbreaks. Then comes the 5th person, and the 5th person says, I want to get married, No assessment. Because of the desperation, there's no assessment. We make decisions or ill-informed decisions. Past heartbreaks have been heartbroken, and now comes Audrey. And Audrey is saying, I want to marry you. That's what I've been waiting for. We jump onto the train. Past breakups. You were in that relationship. Maria and Simon in the relationship. 3, 4, 5 years. Boom, one day, Maria learns that Simon is getting married. That puts Maria in a state of desperation. The next person, we enter into what is called rebound relationships. Without healing, without thinking, the next person. And sometimes some people reason, I want to show my ex that I am worth, that I'm still beautiful, that he was not the only one. We want to show, to revenge. How do you revenge on a person? With your life. Another source of desperation. Desperation comes from a lot of sources. I want to call this low self-esteem, kind of. Or, there are women who have gotten kids, for example, maybe in their teenage, or maybe even when they are older. And then this woman has got a child or has got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 children. Such women look down upon themselves. They always have this question like, who will want me with 5 or 3 children or a child? So now, when a certain man approaches them and talk of marriage, and these women can take anything. They can just take anything because they feel that they are now of low value and they can just accept anyone. So I now have 3 kids. If anyone comes and say he wants to marry me, I'll just accept. Desperation. Reason number 2, misguided priorities. We are placing value on what I call supplementary things. Yes, there is nothing wrong getting married to a rich man. I think it's a dream of most of the people. We want at least somebody who is, financial well. But should that be the first thing on your list of the characters or features or whatever that you put as, things that you are looking for in a man? So a lot of women, what is at the top is a rich man, a tall, handsome, black, white, handsome, average height. I don't want an ugly person. Yes, there's nothing wrong with you wanting a good-looking man. But should that be the priority? Should that be the first thing that you go for? Even if you have no shared values, you don't have this, there's no compatibility. And sometimes some women even put these priorities on top of even chemistry. There is not just chemistry between the two, but just because the man is rich, the man drives a Mercedes-Benz, the man drives a BMW. That is what is important for them. Reason number 3, lack of knowledge about relationships. This is a lady who has no experience about relationships at all. That's one. So if you don't know anything about relationships, these are women who have, good women who have not tried even dating in high school and even at university, and they started working, they're keeping themselves well and so forth. There is no experience at all. So they don't know what to look at. That can make us make ill-informed decisions when it comes to a selection or a choice of a partner. Or sometimes the person has experience, but the person hasn't just learned. Because this kind of thing, like I said in episode number 1, there is no school where we can go to learn about these things. So you see, relationship number 1, it's a breakup. Relationship number 2 is a breakup. You are not learning. Even if you have experience being in a relationship, you still haven't learned. You still do not know. What do I look at? That knowledge, there is no school for that knowledge. But I'm thankful for technology. If you are falling in this category and you are hearing me now as a lady, go on YouTube, go on Google. There's a lot of information that is teaching. There are a lot of people who are teaching people about these things. So if you're falling in that category and you are a lady and listening to me, please do yourself a favor, learn. There are a lot of people talking about these issues on the internet. And like I said, multiple realities again. There are things that you may relate and believe and feel that, yeah, this is true. So you may tap into that. You may learn 1 or 2 things from whatever they are saying. So we lack knowledge. The last one, which is number 4 for me, no identity. A woman who doesn't know herself, a woman who doesn't know her value, a woman who doesn't know her worth. So that, if you don't know what you want, if you don't know yourself, and this goes deeper in terms of even who are you, what is your purpose in life? Because the person that you enter into marriage with must help you to fulfill your purpose on this earth. So if you don't know yourself, where you are coming from, where you are going, because that is important in making choices of a partner, in selecting a partner. So those, according to me, are my 4 reasons why I think women enter into unhealthy relationships or why women marry wrong. Desperation, which comes from a lot of sources, from society, family, friends, from low self-esteem, loneliness and fear of being lonely, heartbreaks. And number 2 is misguided priorities. Number 3 is lack of knowledge about relationships or lack of experience. Number 4 is no identity. When you don't know yourself, lack of self-awareness. So in which category are you? I know most of us are in the desperation state. Most of us women are desperate to get married. But remember, it is dangerous to be in that state. Keep yourself busy, do things that make you happy, and then before you know it, if it is meant for you, it will just happen. So don't let your mind be occupied with the thoughts of when am I getting married, I want to get married, Occupy yourself with other things, and then one day you just find yourself in love and get married if it is meant for you. If it's not meant for you, it's fine. Are you the first one? Don't you see a lot of people in your society, in your community, who are not married? Does it mean that you die? Thank you so much for listening to this episode 2. Until next time. Bye-bye.